Hi everyone, this is Elaine. Welcome to Flat Earth for Dummies 101. Definition of dummy, indoctrinated in globe from birth. A spinning globe is only true in fairy tales. Only the truth will set you free. The lies were out to get me, to feast upon my brain. Freemasonic wormholes were to blame. Then I saw the way. Now I'm a flat earther. There is no curve, no globe in my mind. The earth is flat. We're the believers, don't eat the deceivers, those who lie.
I've spent a lot of time digging into this, reading the actual documents, going to the actual CIA website, the Army website, the Navy website, the U.S. Air Force, many NASA documents, Russian documents. So they're talking about the equations, and you want to talk about the calculus and trig this thing gets into. The equations are based on these airplanes flying over a non-rotating flat Earth. Question, why would this be in any technical manual of anybody if it doesn't exist? You don't have to calculate the spin. No. This is just about, these planes fly over non-rotating flat Earth. So, oh, well, Pastor Dean, this is what I heard. Oh, well, they're just doing that to simplify the equations. Oh, really? I'm sorry. I didn't know that NASA rocket scientists and MIT mathematicians couldn't factor in 8 inches per mile squared. I'm sorry, they have to simplify the math. Maybe they missed a class at MIT or something. I don't know. But this is crazy. Now you can try to dismiss this if you want to. Look at that. This report derives and defines a set linearized system matrices for rigid aircraft of constant mass flying in a stationary atmosphere over a flat, non-rotating Earth. I didn't write that. It seems that someone at NASA is a flat earther. Oh my God. Right? How can this be? No, they have to design stuff for it to work the way things are. That's why. There's evidence. We're not out here. Listen, this thing, if there was no evidence, if there was nothing to it, this would not be exploding and growing across the world like it is. There is evidence. There are ways to prove this. And then I find out, not only do we have these seeing things that we shouldn't see at certain distances to know that there's no curve. And we've done our own 3 tests across Mobile Bay in 13, 14 miles. There's no curve. But folks, I want to tell you, now we're finding out the government has known this for a long time. Now, of course, they put out propaganda and stuff, but let's just look at a few things. Picard, here, now we're going to take a little journey here back to 1931. Auguste Picard, scientist, friend of Albert Einstein. I've shared this. Well-respected scientist, inventor. Creates a gondola, creates his own capsule. Takes a balloon up. The first man to reach the stratosphere. And what do we see here? That's his little porthole he was looking out of. And this magazine right here, this man, a scientist, I have it. Let's go ahead and show it. See, I actually have the actual magazine. Now it's worth about $4,000. I bought it for $20,000. I mean, $20. Hey, after this, it might be worth $20,000. You never know. But anyway, there it is. I got in trouble the first time I showed because I was handling it with my hands. They said, you don't handle an old document with your hands. I said, okay, okay. But what does he say here? Right here, I'll just read it. Through the portholes, he and his observer saw the earth. He said it seemed a flat disk with upturned edge, no curve. Now this is a scientist, pre-NASA, 1931. Why did he have a reason to lie? He was a scientist. He was telling you, this is what I observe, which is real science. I'm not going to make up a lie. I'm just going to tell you, this is what I saw. Pretty clear. Pretty clear. There it is again. There's the, so you can see where he actually said it through the portholes. The observer saw the earth through a copper-colored, then bluish haze. It seemed a flat disk with upturned edge. Here's another document. We move forward in time a little bit, 1956, 57 time period. Now what happened, what happened between about 1948 and this time? The development of jet aircraft and the increase in rocket technology. So we were beginning to be able to fly a little higher, a little faster. One of these was a visual photometer of the daytime sky intended for measuring the brightness of the firmament. The other photoelectric halo photometer for determining the brightness from near sun halo. Whoa. Pause. Time out. Time out. How is something that's supposed to be 93 million miles away, could anything about it be called near? The near sun. Okay? But it gets better. He says that to study the near sun halo and also the sun on the surface perpendicular to these rays. The dissertation contains a certain formula of the brightness of the sky, taking into consideration only the brightness of the first order, derived on the assumption of a flat earth and giving some conclusions. Because remember, they're trying to study how light is operating within the atmosphere with a near sun halo, and they tell you over flat earth. This is a Russian document, 1957. It was classified.
That's why I hate the Russians.
Hi everyone, Risk Mr. Thrive and Survive. It's August 17th, 2019. This is a video that was uploaded 2 days ago by Rob Skiba. I've always stated that, when I was in the military and even since then, when I've come across manuals for different weapon systems and things like that, it's always based on a flat, non-rotating Earth, these weapon systems and things like that. And, I've stated that if you want to wallow in your own ignorance and cognitive dissonance, well, that's your prerogative. But for those of us who look at actual evidence and things like that, here are some manuals that he goes through, starting in the 1940s and up to and through the 1970s and even beyond, where in this case here, let's just take a look at this. This is a NASA. He does NASA, it's Russia, it's all these different weapon systems, which they are going to base on reality. They're not going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on weapon systems on things that just do not work. And what do they work on? They always say, as here, derived on the assumption of a flat Earth, and giving some conclusions derived on the basis of this formula. And you'll see throughout that it's flat, non-rotating Earth is what all these things are based on. And once he passes the 1950s, of course, we have so-called satellites and things like that that have gone up into space. So why are they still basing all this stuff on a flat, non-rotating Earth? So enjoy these different documents. Again, if you want to wallow in your own ignorance and just go by the assumption that we live on a spinning ball because, but here we go. Here's much more evidence for those who are open-minded. And again, when you're going through this and listening to this from Rob Skiba, he does a fantastic presentation here. Ask yourself the question, if they know it's a spinning ball, why are they basing everything on a flat, non-rotating Earth and basing all the military weapon systems and everything? Every single weapon system that I've ever come across that I used to deal with, where I looked at the technical manuals and things like that, it always was based on a flat, non-rotating Earth. And you can still look these up today. So enjoy, guys.
We go forward about a decade to the 1940s, 1948. This is an official CIA, look up here, CIA.gov, okay, CIA declassified document from the Russians. I'm going to pull it up here in Adobe Acrobat. It's a little easier because I've already highlighted some stuff here, same document. All right, so the subject is Earth measurements, 1948, Moscow, Russia. Outer gravitational field and shape of the physical surface of the Earth. They're trying to figure out the shape of the Earth? Wait a minute. I thought we knew the shape of the Earth since Pythagoras and Eratosthenes, right? Well, apparently the Russians didn't get the memo. Let's look at another document here. Another declassified CIA document up here, right? They're checking out the firmament in this one. In the investigations, 2 instruments designed by V.G. Fezenkov were used. One of these was a visual photometer of the daytime sky intended for measuring the brightness of the firmament. Interesting. Trying to figure out the brightness of the firmament. Again, 1957. The dissertation contains a certain formula of the brightness of the sky, taking into consideration only the brightness of the first order, and derived, get this now, on the assumption of a flat Earth. Very interesting, huh? All right, let's see what NASA has to say. Dated April 17th, 1961. So they're checking out missile position in space computed relative to a flat, non-rotating Earth. Why would you do that? If the Earth is a rotating ball, 25,000 miles in circumference, why would you do your computations based on a non-rotating flat Earth? You're going to tell me that this simplifies the math? I mean, we are actually dealing with rocket scientists here, so math's not a problem for these people. After the data were inspected, it became apparent that they tended to agree with the theory given by equation 2 plus some fixed attenuation, and therefore allowed us to develop an analytical expression based on flat Earth theory. I'll read that again. Therefore allowed us to develop an analytical expression based on flat Earth theory. So everybody who wants to label us flat earthers crazy must have to lump in the Army Research Laboratory as part of the Looney Tune bin. Let's see what else they have to say. Propagation of electromagnetic fields over the flat Earth. What? Army Research Laboratory, arl.army.mil, by Joseph R. Melita, February 2001. Propagation of electromagnetic fields over flat Earth. You guys seeing that? Check it out. Stability and control estimation flight test results for the SR-71 aircraft with externally mounted experiments. So we're back to checking out some things on the SR-71. These equations assume a rigid vehicle and a flat, non-rotating Earth. For the SR-71 with external hardware attached. It seems to me that the Army Research Laboratory and NASA and the Russians and the CIA have been talking about flat Earth long before any of us showed up. Kind of makes you wonder, what do they know?
I thought the globe was more or less a given thing. The more I saw, the more was fake. Was the moon a junkyard, the ISS a sham? When I wanted answers, I got spam. Then I saw the way. Now I'm a flat earther. There is no curve, no globe in my mind. The earth is flat. We're the believers, don't hate the deceivers, those who lie.